Kia ora everyone. After a brutal red day yesterday, I took a step back and went back to paper trading. And today everything clicked. I really am a different trader when it comes to paper trading. I'm more confident in taking my setups and I don't hesitate. I don't trade everything either, but still keep discipline in applying my strategy and trading the best setups on the right stocks. Let's break down those trades for today. So the first stock I traded today was VERO. This had popped up in after hours yesterday, and I actually watched it during the opening of pre-market, because I thought it was going to pop as pre-market opened, and it did. It moved from around $6.50. Actually, if I bring the chart up. Yeah, so you can see here, this is the open of pre-market. Here, it went from about $6.50, shot straight up to about $9.20, and then all the way to a high of $12 up here. So, nice impressive move at the start of pre-market. And I didn't trade that, obviously, but I just wanted to see if my, what I thought it was going to do at the start of pre-market actually happened and actually how it moved. So it shot up pretty much straight away in the first 2 minutes, and then it sort of pulled back, didn't really hold up, and then pulled right back to around 750. And then went sideways pretty much for the up until around, I think it was about 5 o'clock when it started popping again. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so about this candle here is around 5:45. So sort of broke the VWAP there and then started pulling way through. So I took my first trade on this. I missed all this here. This was too early for me, 6 o'clock. Breakthrough VWAP there and then push up to $11.86. I actually first saw it as it had just come back down and broken through VWAP here and then pushed back here. I thought about taking the dip here, but this is, it's a bit of an aggressive entry because it's just come down. Is it going to keep going through and, break down altogether and keep going down, sort of this direction? Or, is it going to carry on as it did? So I waited for confirmation that it was actually going to break higher. Initial entry could have been in here, either the break of that first red candle or the break over that first green candle there as well. I didn't take either of those. I took a micro pullback here around 1064, 1065, and that was my entry there for a break up higher. My exit wasn't great. I didn't exit up here. I think I exited around 1170. I'll just have a look at my stats actually. So yeah, $11.71 was my exit. So I didn't capture the full move. Here I was out, about here on this red line here. So I missed a good portion there, another $1, another 80 cents or something like that a share. But to be honest, that was a pretty good trade, over $1 a share just in that one trade there. My next trade on VERO was in this area here where it had pulled back, and I took an entry at, if I can remember, $12.03 at $12.29. I'll actually bring up the chart. That will probably make it a bit easier. Yeah. So that was my first trade there. When I paper trade, I basically just take note of where I'm buying in. I always buy in on the ask price, and I always sell on the bid price. So basically, if I'll mark where I have entered on the ask, and then I'll mark my exit on the top of the box. So the box basically shows the entry down here and the exit up here. And if the box is red, So it's got a green box with a red. That's my entry on the bottom of the green, and my exit is on the bottom of the red box. So that's when I've stopped out. So my second trade was up here on the first pullback, and it sort of broke up and then broke down. I held through this breakdown, and then it came back up, and I took my profit there on this top of this, near the top of this wick. So that was probably not as clean a trade as I would have liked. Maybe I should have stopped out sooner, as soon as it wasn't, or maybe I should have taken my profit here on the resistance line on that second trade, and then gotten back in once it had broken over maybe here, or buying that wick. But that was that second trade. My third trade was once again on the support through here. I bought on this dip here and sold pretty much straight away as it went into profit. And then my last trade, I bought in here thinking that it might hold on the previous support line there. It didn't, it broke down, and I got out on, luckily, on a wick that came back up. So really it should have been out sooner, but I thought, well, it might bounce back, and it did, and I managed to get out on that wick. So not bad there on VERO, and this was really where I should have been trading. Here was okay, I was up, good profit on the front side, so a bit of a risk here when the selling volume is increasing, but yeah, not a bad risk. Then I traded I took another trade on VERO, and this was so when it came down and retested the VWAP down on this level here, I jumped in an entry around 11.25 as it pushed higher, and quick trade on, I'll zoom in on that one a bit better. So in here around 11.25 and out at about 11.50. Then I took a small trade up here, thinking it was going to push higher up here. Zoom out a bit, so a bit more, bit more reference. Expecting it to push up a little bit further. It didn't, it rejected, and I stopped out straight away on that trade there. And then again, in here on the support level, on this trade here, pretty aggressive entry again on the pullback, and a quick scalp and exit up here around 11.40, 11.45. Just check that actually, what's that? Yeah, so in at 11.11 and out at 11.45 on that trade there. And that was all I traded on VERO. And the next trade I took was on FMTO. So VERO was a good stock because it met all my criteria for a quality stock, and that's what I really need to trade when I trade live. And that was good discipline and good practice for me to be trading on the right side of the move as it's going up, breaking out, and then stopping trading on the backside, and then once again, once the getting a couple dip trades off the VWAP wasn't bad risk once I was up on the day. Then I traded FMTO. FMTO didn't really have any news. I couldn't really see any news on this stock. This is FMTO here. So it had popped up, and I traded it as it broke up through VWAP here. I took my first trade on micro pullback here around $6, I think. Let's have a look. That was at $6.23. Actually, I'll bring up the video. So this is my first trade on VERO actually on the clip. So you can see I've put my entry in there, my box in for the entry, and then I'm waiting for it to come up. And yeah, so I basically had called that I was going to take it at this level here, my exit, and so that's where I left my box. I missed out on the rest of that move up to 12.49, 12.50, but now I'm back in, sorry, that left over. So now I'm back in at this level here looking for a pushback through the high. It hit resistance and it didn't go, so really I could have been stopping out as it broke down through this level here, but you can see that it's buying up, so I thought it's still a good chance that it will come back and, you know, retest this high again. So I was waiting for a retest of the high, and eventually it pushed up into profit, and then I took it there on that wick. Anyway, I'll go through to FMTO. Here we go. So this is FMTO. It's already broken through VWAP. There's a micro pullback. It's pulling back quite a bit off here, and I was in on that one and then out straight away, and then again I was in on that level there and waiting for it to push higher to retest. It's not really getting there, it's struggling to get over that high again, so I take my exit there on that second trade just in here. So those two are decent trades. They were both, you know, FMTO. They were both, one was 66 cents a share, one was 59 cents a share. So the difference between paper trading and live trading for me is my confidence in holding stocks longer. But also the stocks today were actually giving me the opportunity to get that sort of cents per share out of the market. So, you know, some of the other stocks that I've been trading while it's been live, I've missed those bigger moves. So I haven't been able to capture bigger moves. So my risk reward ratio has been quite low. Yeah, so really good today with my risk reward ratio being up around 5.2. And then I traded one more stock, DXF. Oh, actually, FMTO was interesting today because it had popped up. I wasn't quite sure what the news was. And then, you know, here, let's have a look here. Yeah. So my last trade on FMTO was in this area here. I think if I bring up yeah. No, that's VERO. Here. No, it's VERO. Where is the one on FT? Here we go. So this is my last trade on FMTO. And it was off the low, it was breaking up back to VWAP, and I thought, well, it's had a nice break up here, but what I didn't really look at was the volume. The volume's still pretty light. So, and it's probably because of that massive red bar there, but I thought it was going to push back up to VWAP at least, or break through it. It didn't, it pulled back. I didn't really stop out on this. I held it for a bit longer. And also because, yeah, I was sort of up on the day. And then I just switched to DXF to take a trade on that. But the interesting thing about this is that here I got out of the trade. Where was it? It was here that I got in. It pulled back, came back up. I think I sold the position here or here to get out of that trade. And then here, this is where it went from, you know, looking okay, holding and everything like that. And then it puts in a big red candle here, and then another one, and another one, and it rallies. Actually, it's not there. It is here, that red candle. This thing dropped from $5 a share all the way down to 6 cents a share. So glad I wasn't in that move. Well, wouldn't have been too bad today being a paper trader, but you know, if you were caught in that move holding like a position on the low, if you thought, hey, this is the low of day, I'm going to buy in here and hold for it to push back through VWAP, you would really have to make sure that you're keeping abreast of what is going on in the marketplace and what news these companies are putting out. So in my platform, I didn't see any news being posted, but they had put in a, I think it's secondary offering, and the stock price plummeted. It just dived all in 1 minute. Look, it's gone from 476 down to 153, and then it just kept going down and down and down, right down to 6 cents. Not that I would expect anyone to hold that long, but you know, caught in a flush like that, that's, you know, that's a big loss. So it just shows that, you know, if you're trading below the VWAP, or if you're trading any stock, really that could have happened earlier on in the day. They could have put that news out earlier on, you know, say trading in this region here, and it still would have dumped, you know. So you just got to make sure that you are really keeping abreast of what's going on with some of these small cap stocks, because when they do put out offerings and stuff like that, the price can really dump on you. So my other trade on DXF, where was this one? Yeah. So I saw DXF pop up on the scanner. I missed this first part of the move here up to 15. The pullback also, I didn't take any of this, I'd missed this. And you know, the pushback to retest the highs around 15 again. It pulled back, you know, quite a fair way, and when it held here on the support around, you know, $10, around $10, I thought I'd buy the low here on the support and look for a pushback to VWAP. So if I bring up, actually I'll bring up the video. So this is TXF here. I'm thinking about getting in for a pushback. I'm looking for the low, I'm looking for the support, because I'd missed the support on VWAP. And here it's buying up quite nicely back up to $11, but I'm waiting for it to really bottom out. So here I'm sort of seeing it's holding around 1050. And my entry on this was, what was my entry? 1040 was my entry. So I'm in there at 1040. Sorry, I'll bring this up. So my entry's here at 1040, and then I'm waiting for the pushback. So it does go into consolidation for a bit. So it sort of goes sideways and it does make a pullback, a dip again down to around 990. Does it pull back further? I can't remember. But I'm waiting for it to break up. Now this is pretty aggressive entry, really. What I should be waiting for is it to either break up or break down. And it kind of broke down here, but it was it got bought up immediately. So that shows some good signs that it's gonna push back higher. And again, it breaks down through this level and is bought back up pretty much immediately. So there's definitely some buying pressure down here that's keeping the stock up. And now it's putting in a first green candle. It's coming up to this resistance level here and it breaks through there. So that's a good sign. And now that second green candle comes up, breaks through that first green candle. A lot more buying coming in as it breaks through the VWAP, and then selling as people take their profit as it breaks through there. And I'm one of those as well. Took my profit as it broke through. Now, obviously there could be another entry here. That break there. But I didn't want to trade it any longer. That was my plan, was to take it from the low to breaking through the VWAP. And that was my best trade profit-wise for the day, and cents per share-wise, I got $1.71 a share on that trade there. So $10.40 to $12.11 on that trade on DXF. So really good stats today. If I can do this trading live, my account would look so much better. Granted, there were stocks that moved today that were quite good, and I managed to trade them on the right side of the move while they've been going up. But I've got to do that when I'm trading live as well. So 72% win rate, accuracy. I took 11 trades, 8 were green, 3 were red. And my average winner is $66 versus my average loser, which was $12.75. And my net profit was $492.11 today, paper trading. That's paper, obviously, it's not real money. The other thing as well is that I just have more confidence when I'm paper trading. And also my share size. So usually when I'm trading live, I've been trading with 200 shares. I actually only used 100 shares as my base for paper trading. So as you can see here, it's just based on 100 shares bought, and I made more profit today than I've made in all my days of live trading this time. So yeah, it just goes to show you the mindset that I have in my, paper trading versus the mindset I have in when I'm trading with real money and trading live. Is that real hesitancy and to take the right trades at the right time sometimes. And I think I fall into that trap of I've missed this trade, so I trade something that's not quite as good. Or I wait too long to trade the right stock, and I'm not getting as good a return as I should be if I had traded it in the right place at the right time. So today is really about getting my discipline back in check and making sure my mindset is good after a big red day yesterday. The last thing I need is another big red day. So paper trading is a way for me to reset myself, get a few good setups under my belt, and then possibly go back to live trading tomorrow. I may have missed those setups in my live trading account today, but the true value of today is refocusing on the long-term goal of becoming profitable and not on the short-term profits I could have made. I miss the majority of moves the market makes, every day. So no FOMO today, and I really enjoyed the process, focusing on getting it right and not about profit. I think this is the adjustment I need to focus on going forward. As a beginner trader, I need to be more in tune with my emotions, keeping my discipline, and having a positive mindset. Otherwise, I could end up trading emotionally and blowing up my account, which I have done before, by the way. So day trading in the sim or paper trading is a way of keeping those emotions in check and resetting your mindset. The great thing about today is I've achieved that. I'm feeling calm, I'm confident and in control again. But what do you think? Am I ready to go live again tomorrow? Or should I stick with the paper a little longer? Let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe for more of the ups and downs of trading, and I will see you tomorrow. Hei a popo.